Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. Today we're taking a look at the 1998 Alfa Romeo 166 2.5 V6 24 valve Sportronic. This is one of 3 Alfa 166s in the game, so if this one doesn't do particularly well, there's 2 others to go after this that should do well. I hope it does well because I really like the 166. It's a very... I admit, as time goes on, this design for me originally was quite weird, but it really is growing on me. I'm still not sure if I quite like the really puny front lights, but it is a good bit of design. It's definitely unique. It's definitely far more interesting than your standard run-of-the-mill BMW 5 Series, E-classes, stuff like that. So, pretty interesting. It's also interesting because it's front-wheel drive, which means, in theory, this probably will end up being quicker than a lot of those cars around this track. Front engine, front-wheel drive, 390 horsepower, 1,326 kilos. It is quite heavy, which is going to work against it. But front-wheel drive, that amount of power, we'll see how it gets along. It's going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the TVR Sabre LM Edition, 28.620. This is unlikely to beat that. One thing I really like about the 166 is, as much as there is 3 of them, which means we do have to sort of run the same car over and over again, one cool thing is they come in a variety of fantastic colours. I think this colour on this one is Aurora or something, which is awesome. It's like this sort of minty lime green. I quite like it, so that's fun. Handling wise, you definitely feel the weight. It is a weighty boy, but it is also quite nice to drive. I think this is, what was this, 370 or 390 horsepower, I can't remember. This is one of the more powerful front wheel drive cars in the game. It's not quite the most powerful. The most powerful, to my knowledge, is the Ford. Is it the Ford? I think it's the Mercury Cougars, the Ford Cougar and the Mercury Cougar. They're both about 500 horsepower fully upgraded. So they should be a lot of fun, but of course they're very heavy to go along with it. Stuck on the grass, that's not where I want it to be. Yeah, so they're interesting, to say the least. I think they're about 500 horsepower. I think the Dodge Intrepid as well, the one with the dragster mod. Naturally, that obviously needed to be quite powerful. I think that runs about 500 horsepower, but this is more powerful than a lot of other saloons in the game, sort of the touring car-esque saloons. This should be, well, this is a lot more powerful than all of them. Admittedly though, driving around here, it does feel like the weight is a problem. The weight is definitely a problem in this. And unlike something like the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which was turbocharged, and even though that was heavy, that also had the race mod on it, this doesn't have that luxury, so it is just sort of big and bargy. I didn't even say what this should compare itself, because it is quicker than a BMW 323 Ci currently though, so that is good. We'll see if we can get any quicker on the final lap, but I think... How many gears do I have? 5, okay. They're just really long gears, and because this is naturally aspirated, you can see there's just not a lot of power being made in second gear. By the end of second gear, you get a fair bit of power out of it, but it's just that sort of low-end power. There's not really that much torque there, because it's naturally aspirated. So, that's a problem for it. And like I say, the weight on this thing is... It is a bit bargy. It does have to be said. Then again, I mean, you look at it and you know it's hardly going to be like the epitome of performance driving, do you? Alright, coming out of there, 31.238. Do you know what? That's not bad. That really is quite good. For something this heavy, certainly. Again, like I say, it's just... The reason I'm having to take that line is because it's just the understeer out of that corner. You just cannot get it turned in. It's... Yeah, I mean, it looks even more beautiful on track, actually. I really like the way it looks on track. Yeah. back when Alphas had really, really weird designs. Admittedly, I'll be honest, I don't think you could get much more out of that. I think that is about the limit of what this car would do, but still very impressive. 31.238 will put it in to 28th place. It is slightly slower than the Vauxhall Vectra, which does hurt my soul saying that. Marginally quicker than the Primera. Yes, by 7,000th of a second, it is quicker than the Primera. Quicker than the Corona, Accord. Yeah, it's pretty good. Quicker than Dodge Avenger. That's actually quite a comparable one as well. It's not a bad time. That's certainly not a bad time. But I don't think it could go much quicker. We'll have to see how the 3-litre V6 and, crucially as well, the Twin Spark, which might be able to be turbocharged. It'll be interesting to see how all the sort of different engine configurations pit against each other on this one. But nevertheless, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.